Good evening. Good evening on this Tuesday, sunny, wet, sunny day. Again, the weather's all over the place, isn't it? How are you guys? I have managed to have a haircut. 3 inches they took off, 3 inches of COVID hair taken off my hair. So I feel normal again at last. And I decided to position my current piece that's in the Great Art Auction right behind me tonight, so you could see it while I was talking to you, because I will be mentioning the Great Art Auction because it's in progress this week. So I am going to talk about it because it's actually one of the most important things that I am doing this week. So I'll talk to you about that later, though. So how are you guys anyway? How's your week been? What have you been doing? Tell me where you're watching from. Tell me whether you're watching live. Tell me whether you're watching on replay. And just relax, because tonight I want to talk all about you. So tonight's live is all about why you are your brand and why it's so important for you to step into that role. Okay, so I'll start like I always do by introducing myself for those of you that don't know me or haven't watched me. And if you haven't, where have you been? So I'm Mandy Nicholson, and I want you to listen to this. I am Mandy Nicholson. I am a creative genius consultant, artist, and author, and I help creative women to launch, grow, and scale their business and make more money. I have made it my mission to step into the creative space and make a difference for women to be able to earn their worth. We're going to be talking all about that and many other things to do with you tonight and how you show up and how you talk about yourself. So what I'm going to cover for you is something that I actually structure in my signature program tonight. Hi, Michelle. Watching live here, Norfolk, Suffolk border. What a lovely place to be. I used to live in Norfolk, actually. I used to live in Downham Market. In fact, Marham, just outside of Downham Market. I used to manage the Summerfield in Downham Market. Belgrade, wow. Thank you for watching. So tonight I'm going to talk to you about TACT, which is an acronym I use in my signature program to start you thinking about how you show up and how you are your brand. And it doesn't matter what you sell. Believe me, it really doesn't matter. Whether you sell product, whether you sell a service, whether you sell knowledge, doesn't matter what you are selling. You are your brand. You are the face behind the product, service, whatever it is. And people always buy from people. You'll have heard this. People talk about this all the time on social media. And I'm not going to say anything you probably haven't heard before. But I think once you really start to understand and enable yourself to put a structure to thinking about who you are and how you show up, it helps you to actually show up in a better way. And I had this discussion with one of my current clients on the group, on our group call yesterday. And she was actually going to go back to this very training in the program, which is early on my signature program, and redo it because it is that important and that powerful. So whether you are selling soap, whether you are selling paintings, whether you are selling programs, whether you are selling training, whatever it is that you are selling, you have got your product and how it's packaged. So if you're selling artwork, you're selling it whichever way you're selling it, but you are still selling it. You are the person behind the brand. Most of us know who Richard Branson is, and he has become famous. As much as his brands are, you associate Virgin with Richard Branson. Where there is an association of a person with a brand, it becomes more warm to us, personable, more understanding. We get it better. And your clients will do that with you. Without a doubt, your clients will do that with you. So I'm going to take you through TACT tonight and tell you how it works. And then it's up to you whether you want to use it. So TACT is a little acronym that I use, and I start with, okay, if you are your brand, how are you going to show up? If you were to, this is your elevator speech. No, T stands for, is the first part, T for title. Okay, so the T in TACT is T for title. If you meet somebody for the first time, how do you introduce yourself? What title do you have in your business? What do you call yourself? And try and be different. Use terminology that makes you stand out. So I'm going to take you back to the start of this live where I said, hi, I'm Mandy Nicholson, and I'm a creative genius consultant, artist, and author. More than once, even in just the last few weeks, people have said to me, I love that title. People remember it. It sticks with them. People that haven't met me before, they'll either like it and say nothing, or they'll say, what's a creative genius consultant? Now, isn't that better than saying nothing? And isn't remembering it better than not? So what is your title? So if you sell, for instance, Body Shop, what are you going to say? Hi, I'm Mandy and I sell Body Shop. Or are you going to come up with something amazing that actually lets people guess a little bit and sounds really quite grand? Because I would suggest you do the second. And you can call yourself anything you want. It's your business. It doesn't matter what you sell. So the T in TACT starts with title. Really think about your title and what you are going to call yourself in your business. Make yourself stand out. The A in TACT is for aim. Aim. What is your aim, your mission, your goal? What is your business story and the reason that you do what you do? So I'll take you back to me introducing myself. Hi, I'm Mandy Nicholson. I'm a creative genius consultant, artist, and author, and I help creative women to launch, grow, and scale their business and make more money. I'm on a mission to step into the creative space and help creative women to earn their worth. You really know what I do and what it is, why it is I do it, because I'm on a mission to do it. And I can say all of that in a few short seconds. And I say it so often that it's just natural for me. It flows off the tongue. Have you got that nailed down in your business? Have you got it nailed? If not, go and sit at the drawing board. And this is one of the very first things that you do. And there's nothing wrong, if you haven't done this, in doing it now. And there's nothing wrong if you've done it before in doing it again. Like I said yesterday in one of my group calls, one of my clients realized that she needed to go and revisit this so that she could show up and own that position and own her mission. And that's really important, because when you own it and you can say confidently that title and aim, then people believe you. So the C in TACT, title, aim, the C in TACT is creativity. Okay. What exactly is your creative vision? What is it that you want to build? What is it? You've got superior skills as a creative, if you are a creative, in actually seeing what it is you want to create. So be creative with that. So when I say I've made it my mission in life to help women to step into their power and become successful in their area of genius, therefore I'm a creative genius consultant, and I want to help thousands of women. I'm very clear on what my creative vision is. In fact, I'm even more clear than that, because I've got a castle on my vision board, very, very clear where I'm going with my business and how I do it. Are you that clear? Have you got that creative vision attached to everything that you do? Question mark. And the T in TACT is for trade. What exactly is it that you trade or offer? Okay. Define it. Is it time? Is it product? Is it both? It should be, if you want abundance, but be specific. So hi, I'm Mandy Nicholson. I'm a creative genius consultant, artist, and author. So I sell art, I sell books, and I help creative geniuses. That's what I do. I do three things, and I've managed to combine that in the title that allows me to introduce myself and my business to people that I do not know. And it helps them to know exactly what I do really, really quickly. And it's really important because you have around about 7 seconds to make an impression. 7 seconds, people are judging you. 7 seconds, people have made an opinion whether they like you or they don't like you. 7 seconds, people are making a decision whether they want to work with you or whether they want to switch off the live or not have a conversation with you. So if you can show up confidently, having this really nailed down so that you can say it in an interesting way and in a creative way that tells the story about what you do in a very brief couple of sentences, then this is how you are going to communicate your brand. You are your brand, and how you communicate your brand is vital. Branding is a very complex area. It's, some of the greatest brands, if we think about Coca-Cola, it's one of the most well-known brands that there is, isn't it? But there's a human side to Coca-Cola, and it's not one person behind that brand, but it's one ethos behind that brand, isn't it? They are very much, when they are advertising, using joy and happiness, and that their product brings joy and happiness. That's their brand. And if you are your brand, and let's face it, as solopreneurs, as entrepreneurs, most of us are. We are the driving force. We are the CEO, the chief everything officer, until we've got a team behind us. So we have to be able to communicate that really well and really effectively. And we need to weave our brand through everything that we do. So when you've nailed this tact, and I've got a 1-page, if anybody wants this 1-page handout, I am happy to send it to you in Messenger. Happy to send it to you on email. Just drop me a note, a direct message anywhere on any platform, and I'll send that out to you, no problem whatsoever. Once you've done that initial work of working on your title, you've then got to practice saying it and introducing yourself and really stepping into the ownership of your brand and living and breathing it and walking the walk of it instead of just talking the talk. And when you own that title and that aim and that creativity and that trade that you do really, really well, it starts to show through your social media posts, because everything can be linked back to how you see yourself within the brand. It's really important that it's all cohesive, that it all feels like you and it feels like your brand. People can see it, they can feel it. It's really evident to people. I know lots of people who live and breathe their brands, and I expect nothing less of them now because they've done it consistently. I've got some great friends who have got great brands who live and breathe it, and it's really evident. So I want you to think about that. This is an important bit of work that might actually, do you know what, that 1 page could take you a day to do. There could be 8 hours work there, sitting, racking your brains. How do I want to show up? And how you actually introduce yourself when you've nailed your title and your mission is really important, because there needs to be some flow to it, some musical notes to it, an ability to be able to introduce yourself in that way, confidently, musically, so that your tone is going up and down, so that people listen, so that your pace is slowing and speeding up, so that people listen and that people remember you. The psychology in speaking, the psychology in introductions, and the psychology in engaging people in what it is you're saying and trying to communicate to them. So think about all of that. And I'll go back to, hi, I'm Mandy Nicholson, and I'm a creative genius consultant, artist, and author. And I help creative women to launch, grow, and scale their creative business and make more money. There's some musical notes, there's some pauses and some pitch changes when I'm using that introduction. And if you ask anybody, I'm loving this, really interesting, your mind is whirring. That's great. That's what I show up for every single week, to get you thinking about this. A lot of women that I have come across in networking events, in real life, in general, that are in business, really struggle with this bit. And when I've shown up and shared this simple 1-page activity, they've gone, oh, and literally it's transformed them as individuals when they can describe themselves in a different way and show up and really own that title and that brand. It changes so much in your business doing this one activity. It's really transformative for you as a person. And give yourself a grand title, ladies. Give yourself a grand title like creative genius consultant. Yeah. You don't want to be a body shop rep. Everybody's a body shop rep that sells body shop. You want it to be some Mandy's magnificent body shop. What you call it something completely different that gets people questioning and asking, what's that then? It will change the way you see yourself and other people see you. So that's what I wanted you to think about tonight. Tact. Okay, it's 4 letters, but one sheet that's going to help you transform how you see yourself and help you transform your brand and how your brand is perceived by other people. So hopefully that has helped. If you've got any questions, please ask them. If you want the sheet, then please ask. But I do want to talk to you tonight. I've left a little bit of time at the end to talk about the Great Art Auction. Everybody's sick of me talking about this, but that's okay. I don't mind if people are sick of me talking about this. This week, I am running something called the Great Art Auction. And I have brought together 14 amazing female artists into a group, and we are auctioning off art that has been donated by these artists to raise money for a little girl called Azima through Plan International and in conjunction with Get Ready to Rise. These are my friends, my ladies that have an amazing brand in Get Ready to Rise, Sarah Noel and Natasha Holland. And I am a co-author of the book, Get Ready to Rise. And we are raising money for a little girl called Azima through Plan International. Now, you can still join the group. I think the link is in the comments to the top or to the side. You can still join the group and you can still bid on some amazing pieces of art in there. And I think just before I popped onto this live today, we have raised just over £700 in 2 days, the first 2 days of this auction. The auction closes at 5 p.m. on Friday, the 28th of May. And I would love to have raised over £1,000 for this little girl because it's going to make such a difference to her life. Art is a powerful thing. Art can change the world. And I am using it right now to help change the world. And this is the piece that I have donated. It's a 90 by 60 acrylic on canvas called The Pathway to Your Future Life. The Pathway to Your Future Life. I painted this over the last couple of months after a session with my intuitive coach where I was visualizing my future, where I want to go to my castle in Scotland. And I saw me walking up a road that was covered in violet blooms. So there was a canopy and a carpet of violet blooms on the way to my Scottish castle. So that's what that painting is. So it's me transmitting a bit of my future to you, and that's the piece that's in the auction. So please join us and please contact me if you want that one-page handout or if you want to have a chat about what I've talked to you about tonight, and go and give yourself a grand title. Everybody, you deserve it. Show up and own your brand and strut your stuff like a peacock. I will see you again next Tuesday night, same place, same time. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you then.